Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Lad on C++ programming. So in the last tutorial we have learned what is a binary file and also how to write and read from the binary file character by character. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you something more that we can do with the binary files. So I'm going to show you how to write a block of data to the binary file and also how to read that block of data. And also I'm going to show you how to store the entire object into a file and how to read that object from that file. Alright, let's get started. So here in this tutorial we're going to use the functions like read and write. So this read is used to read a block of data from the file. So here as a syntax, first we need to specify the location where we want to save the read data from the file, and here we just need to specify the number of bytes. And this write is used to write a block of data to the binary file, and here this buffer contains the data that we want to write, and this stream size specifies the number of bytes that we want to write. So if it is confusing the syntax, don't worry, when we use this in our example it's going to be clear. Alright, now let's get started. So the first thing that we can do in this tutorial is we're gonna build a class. So in our examples normally we have used the person class, and here also I'm gonna use that. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna include our C string header file, so that we can use the functions such as strcpy and strlen. So it's gonna be hash include, and it's gonna be C string. Alright, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna build our class, and let's say class person, and we're gonna have two private members. So we can have a character array, and let's call it as name, and let's set the size to 80, which is used to store the name. And then we're gonna have int age, and then we're gonna have the public access specifier, so it's gonna be public. And then here we're gonna have a constructor which is not gonna take any parameters, and it's gonna initialize these two members. So it's gonna be the same name as the class name, and here we're gonna use strcpy to initialize our name. So it's gonna be name, and we're gonna initialize this one to no name, and then I'm gonna set age to a value of 0. Alright, then we're gonna have another constructor which is gonna take two parameters, and it's gonna initialize these two members with that parameters. So I'm gonna copy this constructor and paste it in the next line, and I'm gonna change this one to take the character array or a character stream. So it's gonna be a pointer to the character array, and then we're gonna have a int age. So here I'm going to use this pointer to differentiate the name collision between this member name and this local pointer name. So it's going to be this, and then the arrow operator name. And here also I'm going to use this arrow operator and then age. Alright, then what we're going to do is we're going to build a method which is going to print out the values stored in this member's name and age, and let's call it as void who are you. And this method is not going to take any parameters, and here when we call this method we want to print out this name and age. So I'm going to use cout, and I just going to insert some string. Let's say hi and I'm going to use name, and then I'm going to insert some string, and I am, and it's going to be age years old. Alright, let's end this line. Okay, now the next thing that we're gonna do is in our main function we're gonna create an object of this class person. So it's gonna be person, and let's say Anil, and we need to pass two parameters. Let's say Anil, the name, and then the age 24. Alright, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create a binary file or open a binary file so that we can write to that file. So I'm going to use an object of this upstream class, so that I can read and write to that file. So it's gonna be f stream, and let's call it as file. You guys can give any name you want, and then here I'm gonna pass the file name. Let's say, since we are working with this person class, let's say person, and let's add the extension as bin, just the extension. And then we need to specify that we want to work with a binary file, so it's going to be iOS, then the binary, and then I'm going to use the OR operator to add more file opening modes, and we want to open this file so that we can read from it, so it's going to be in, and then we want to write to that file, so it's going to be out. And also, if the file specified here is not present, then we want to create a new file, and if that file is present, every time we run this program we want to work with an empty file. That's why I'm going to use iOS and trunk. Alright, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to check whether the file has successfully opened or not. So I'm going to use if and not file dot is open. If the file has not opened successfully, then we're gonna print out to the user that error while opening the file, error while opening the file. Else, if the file has opened successfully, then we want to write a block of data to that file. So here in this tutorial we want to write the object of this class person. So I'm going to use the write method, which I have explained before. So it's going to be file dot write, and here this write method is going to take a buffer of type characters. Here we have the object of this class person. So what we can do is we can cast it to char. So I'm going to use parentheses to group it, and it's going to be char star, and then I'm going to pass the reference of this Anil, and then we need to specify how many bytes that we want to write to that file. We want to write the size of this object Anil or the size of this class person. So I'm going to use the size of operator, and it's gonna be person. Alright, and then all of us know that the object of this class fstream maintains get and put pointers, which specifies where exactly the next read and write operation has to take place. And when we write to the file, that get and put position indicators are gonna be in the end. So if you want to read from this file from the beginning, then you guys need to set that file position indicators to the beginning, and to do that we're gonna use the seek g method, which I have explained in the tutorial about the get and put position indicators. So here we're gonna pass the value of 0, which means that we want to read from the beginning. And the next thing is, we want to read from that file, a block of data, and we want to save that in an object of this class person. So that's why I'm gonna create another object, and let's say Anjali, and then we're gonna use the read method, and we're gonna read from the file, and we're gonna store that readed block of data in this Anjali object. So it's gonna be file dot read, and also first we need to specify where exactly we want to store the readed block of data. So we want to store that in this object Anjali, and this read method takes a character buffer. So here we're gonna cast this Anjali to the char type. So it's gonna be char star, and I'm gonna pass the reference Anjali, and then we need to specify how many bytes we want to read in one read operation. We want to read the size of this class person or the size of this object Anjali. So it's gonna be size of, and then it's gonna be person. Alright, the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna call this who are you method. So I'm gonna use the object Anil first. So it's gonna be Anil dot who are you, and then Anjali dot who are you. This both objects are gonna contain the same data, but different copies. And I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna build and run this. Okay, we have an error. Okay, I misspelled it. It should be C string, and build and run it again. Alright, now you guys can see it says, hi, I'm no name and I'm 0 years old. Hi, I'm no name and I'm 0 years old. Okay, that's because here in the second constructor, we haven't changed this one to name, so we need to change this one to name, and here we need to change this one to age. And I'm just gonna build and run this. Just a simple mistake. And now you guys can see, hi, I'm Anil and I'm 24 years old. Hi, I'm Anil and I'm 24 years old. So now I'm gonna open up the location or the folder where I have saved this project, and I'm gonna open up this person file, the file which we have created. And now you guys can see, it has the contents in the binary form that we can't read. Only the computer can understand this. So now you guys may ask, like, okay, how the heck I can say that this Anil and Anjali are containing different copies of data? They may containing the same copy, and they might be having the reference to that. So just to demonstrate that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a method in our class person, and let's call it as change. And here we're just gonna change this name to name and age. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it here, and I'm gonna change this name to, let's say, XXXX, and age to 100 or 1000, whatever it is. And then here I'm gonna call this anil.change, and then we're gonna call anil.whoareyou and anjali.whoareyou. If they are sharing the reference, then the change should be reflected in both of these objects. And also we need to close this file when we have done with it. So I just forgotten to do that. So here I'm gonna write file.close, and then I'm gonna build and run this. And now you guys can see, hi, I'm Anil and I'm 24 years old 2 times, and then hi, I'm XXX and I'm 1000 years old. And that's from this anil.whoareyou, because of this change method. And then this anjali.whoareyou says, hi, I'm Anil and I'm 24 years old. So it means that they are not sharing the same copy, they are sharing the different copies of data. So it also means that we have successfully returned this object Anil to the file. So this is it, guys. This is how you guys can write a block of data to a file using the write method, and read a block of data using the read method. And also this is how you guys can save an object to a file and read an object from the file. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.